Hey everyone, welcome to a kind of a different video for me. This is my top summer horror movie recommendations. So these are horror movies that I like to watch during the summer. Last week when I did my review of Tough Turf with James Spader, I said I would do one, maybe two videos. I've decided to make it two videos. So this today is going to be my top summer horror movie recommendations, and then I guess maybe I'll post a second video later today, and that will be like comedies, action movies, summer blockbusters, kind of like non-horror stuff. So I'm gonna do this in two because I think it would just be too much. So guys, I'm really excited to do this because I haven't really done much of these kind of things. I did a bit of a collection video a couple years ago, like my horror VHS tapes, and I've done Cult Movie Tuesdays and Fright Fridays, my horror movie reviews, my Christmas movies, but I haven't really done anything for summer, and though I may have mentioned it along the way, but these are like movies I like to watch in the summer. Some of them are long standers, and then some of them are more like ones I've added in the last 5 years. A little backstory here. So when I was a teenager, I loved going to the movies. It was on cheap night. I may have mentioned I used to be a camp counselor at a YMCA here in Canada, and so I used to lead massive groups of children. I know it's a scary thought. I was like 15 and in charge of like 30 kids at the beach. Like when I think about it now, it's like terrifying. But I guess back then I was just like the it was the 80s. It's like, well, kid went missing. I'm not sure, but I've always loved summer blockbusters. I just love the vibe. I love after maybe this is gonna sound weird, but I love being out a hot summer day doing things like cycling or working, or like back then I was out with the kids all day, or just being out, get some exercise, some sunshine. You come home and you take a nice cold shower and you get the fan on and you get all cozy and you watch some cool summer themed kind of movies. I don't know, I just love that about the summer. And until I discovered cycling about 10 years ago, summer actually wasn't my favorite season because I always felt kind of trapped in the city with no car. Wasn't a big beach person, so now that I found cycling, I go out on my days off, all day cycling, come home, chill, watch a cool horror movie with the fan on, cool off, chill. I love those vibes. So these are some of these were probably I'm trying to think. No, I don't think any of these were kind of like my more blockbuster ones, but in the second video I will post later today or tomorrow will be my sort of like blockbusters and other fare. So without further ado, let's jump into it. I found this shark puppet at a Indigo Books, and I absolutely love this puppet. I might have told the story a couple years ago when I got this. I found it in this bin at Indigo Books, and I put it on my hand, and I was instantly like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like walking around the store, like making the shark talk to people, like, "Oh, what you looking for?" And people were just giving me the craziest looks, and I don't know why. I just got so devilish that day, and so I always keep this kind of handy. And I don't know, as soon as I put it on my hand, I just get into this really weird frame of mind. And you can do so much stuff with it too, right? You can do like all kinds of expressions. I love it. I probably should have been a puppeteer. On that note, and this is in no particular order, guys. On that note, all-time summer classic, and this is this 50 years old this summer? Oh my dear God. Jaws, of course, the all-time summer blockbuster, the one that kicked it off, I believe. This is Steven Spielberg's Jaws. Music by John Williams, starring Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss, Lorraine Gray. Based on a book by Peter Benchley. He also did the screenplay for this. This is, do I really have to say much about this? This is considered an all-time classic, and it's an all-time classic summer movie. I guess is this July 4th weekend kind of movie. I'm not going to say a lot about this just because I feel like anybody who likes horror movies and blockbusters knows this movie, and thousands of other people have talked about it. This was actually in a bag to trade away for credit, but I'm thinking maybe I'm going to keep it. I got the Blu-ray a couple of years ago, and so I was like, why do I need the DVD? But this is, again, like my argument with that Unbreakable set. It's really such a nice set, even though it's DVD. This is from the, what did they call it? Academy Award winner version. This is the widescreen, Academy Award winner. And then inside it has this great big list of all Academy Awards, I guess. So this was Jaws got the best original score in 1975. Horror movies, of course, don't really get Academy Awards generally, unfortunately. This set is really nice, though. This is the 30th anniversary, so this comes with a really nice booklet inside. And I think I picked this up for about $5 many years ago and was happy to add it to my collection. So I don't know, I might hold on to this. This is the 30th anniversary commemorative photo journal. So yeah, pretty cool set. Back when Universal and the big physical media creators would actually do like nice packaging. So this is a pretty nice set. There's so many versions of Jaws, but I do have it on Blu-ray, so I don't know. I may consider just handing that one along. Then, of course, I'd be remiss to not mention the other Jaws movies, of course. They get progressively worse as they go along. In my opinion, I know a lot of people loved 3 and 4. They definitely have their certain charms. I would say probably the only one I would revisit on here would be Part 2, which is, again, Roy Scheider, Lorraine Gray, Murray Hamilton, and it was directed by Joe Alves. But yeah, if you're in that kind of mood for like just a summery, watery, on the water kind of thing, the third one with what's his face in it, Dennis Quaid and Lou Gossett Jr. of course. It's that's the one that's set at the aquatic marine park or whatever. It's quite bad, but it's again, it's got its campy charms. My next summer movie recommendation is Burnt Offerings, and this doesn't look very summery, of course, but it is. This is about a family who goes, Oliver Reed and Karen Black, who rent this house, which is right down here, in the summertime. This movie is from 1976. It has a runtime of 1 hour 56 minutes. It was produced and directed by Dan Curtis. It also has Burgess Meredith. Betty Davis is in here. This is a movie I only got onto a couple of years ago, but I do like it. And I don't know, I guess you might not say that they rent a sprawling old country mansion for the entire summer for $900. And they're like, why so cheap? Well, kids, you got to watch the movie to find out. But yeah, this just gives me, again, after a long hot day, pop on the AC or a fan, get cozy. This might be a nice late summer into fall kind of one. But yeah, this is a great movie. I love me some 70s cinema, especially 70s horror. So guys, it would be crazy for me to not mention this next series, and not necessarily that all the movies are set in the summer, but of course Friday the 13th. How could you not mention Friday the 13th? I was thinking about this yesterday when I was getting ready for this video. Of course, number one has the best summer vibes. They're at the summer camp, and that's the whole thing with this one. Part 2, again, they're at a summer camp. It goes a little off the summer camp vibe and more into just like a summer movie, but Part 4 is great with Crispin Glover. I'm not a big fan of 5, but yeah. But then it kind of moves away from the summer camp thing. Of course, by the end, you're at Jason Takes Manhattan. But those first, say, 4, definitely give me like real summer vibes. And I watched these a little prematurely this year. I probably watched these back in like late April, early May, just because I was excited for summer. But this is this kind of average set that came out from Paramount back in, I don't know, 2019 or 2020. I can't remember when this came out, but I had a few of these on DVD, but when I saw this, it was like $30. I just grabbed it. It looks great on Blu-ray. Again, as some of you know, I would love to have Friday the 13th on VHS, but I just never see them. I saw Jason Goes to Hell once, and they wanted like $40 for it, and I was like, no. But yeah, I'm happy to have this set. But yeah, definitely like part one gives me those summer camp. You see, the summer camp I worked at was actually at a YMCA, so it's not like I was going out into the woods, but I definitely went on some retreats and stuff with counselors, and it's definitely got those vibes, you know. And again, part two has that scene where they're around the campfire telling the spooky stories. And yeah, if you're looking for those kind of vibes, classic. Can't go wrong with it. I'm going to skip that one for now. There's a new movie coming out, guys. It's going to be I think it's a sequel to the original to I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm not going to lie, I love these movies. The first one, especially for the summer vibes, it's, you know, something bad happened in the summer. The cast comes back the following summer. I think it's 4th of July again. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer is set in a resort that's during like monsoon season. And so if you like, this would be a top recommendation for like a rainy summer night. This one just for any kind of summer day. But I love these movies. I know a lot of people probably think these are cheesy, but I actually super love them. I watched these when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, and they're just nostalgic for me now. These were probably made for people maybe like 10 years younger than me at the time, but I just love them. Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Felipe, Freddie Prinze Jr., Johnny Galecki from Big Bang Theory, Bridget Wilson, directed by Jim Gillespie, it appears to be. Did he do the other one? No, the other one's directed by Danny Cannon. But yeah, these are just fun movies. They're you know, turn your brain off, just enjoy a serial killer, stalker, slasher type vibe. Kind of like what Thanksgiving did a couple of years ago, kind of revived that kind of feel. I love these movies. This one again, especially on those warm, rainy nights. Speaking of which is the one I skipped. A new favorite of mine, Crawl, directed by Alexandra Aja. This is from 2019. This is like a PG-13 movie, but it's still really fun and pretty tense. Got some good tension in it. But this is another one for those like monsoon, like rainy kind of nights. This is like totally my jam. I love movies, as I've mentioned, like set in the water or in the ocean. And in the summertime, this is my go-to. Like Waterworld I saw in the summer, of course, not a great movie, but an honorable mention maybe. But yeah, this one, Sam Raimi produced this, of course, the Evil Dead cat. Crawl. Killer alligators, killer crocodiles, whatever they are. I always get those animals mixed up. But yeah, this is an action-packed thrill ride with a nasty bite. And it's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, so go check it out. Crawl. So again, if it's like raining real hard, but you can keep the windows open and you're all cozy in the summer, wicked, love that. Speaking of Sam Raimi, I'll skip ahead to, of course, I would be remiss to not mention the Evil Dead films. These are like summer vibe movies for me. I saw the first Evil Dead actually at a summer camp sleepover with all my counselor buddies. And the first time I saw this, I was like 12 or 13, and it scared the snot out of me. I had never really seen much of a horror movie before that. And Evil Dead Part 1, I know a lot of younger people will probably think it's quite cheesy now with the Play-Doh effects but man, this movie still holds up for me. And a stone cold summer classic for me. Evil Dead 2, basically a bigger budget remake of Evil Dead 1, but of course another classic. Bruce Campbell, Groovy. This was this edition, this particular Anchor Bay edition was given to me by my son probably about 10 or 15 years ago for Christmas. I still have the Christmas card inside. Thanks, pal. So yeah, Evil Dead. This is an awesome edition, actually. This has a cool booklet inside, Ladies of Evil Dead, and it's got some notations and some photographs. So yeah, if you dig that kind of thing. But yeah, this was a pretty cool Christmas present, as you can imagine. I think this was 2014. Imagine waking up on Christmas morning and opening a beautiful Anchor Bay DVD of Evil Dead. And this has like features coming out the wazoo. Anchor Bay always did great stuff back then. But yeah, I can't recommend Evil Dead. I would say Army of Darkness. If you're watching the first two, you might as well throw in Army of Darkness. I guess it is kind of got that kind of warm, dirty kind of summer vibe, I guess. But it's back in time. But for me, those first two, like, total summer vibes. This is, of course, another summer classic, and one that really gives me those gritty vibes. And the next two, actually, of course, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I picked up this steelbook probably about 5 years ago. I still got the old J card stuck to it here. Let's see. Try to take this off gently. But yeah, this is a really nice edition. It did come bent, I think, so it doesn't close tight, which is disappointing, but hey, gang's all here. But yeah, this Texas Chainsaw Massacre, another one I actually saw, I think I saw this at summer camp, actually. Well, like, not with the kids, obviously, but sometimes the counselors would have like sleepovers, just to kind of like a morale booster, and we would all, and our supervisors, the people that looked over us, because we were like teenagers, would send us over to the video store Friday evening, Saturday evening, whatever night it was, and we would invariably get horror movies. My best memories are A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 and The Evil Dead 1, and I'm pretty sure we watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm pretty sure our supervisors didn't hang out with us while we watched the movies. They were probably just getting a break from us, annoying teenagers. But I had this one friend in particular, Ken, who was like a super cool kid, and he would always know the cool movies to get. I think I've mentioned him on my channel before, but he always knew like the coolest movies to get. So we would always rent like the best movies. And I think I mentioned this before. The one story was the Eddie Murphy Delirious, I think it was, the stand-up video. We brought that back to the building for our overnight movie fun. And actually our bosses were like, no, you're not watching that. I guess it had too much swearing or something, but they let us watch this stuff, so I don't know what the difference was. But anyway, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, again, another one of those ones that are like, what more can I say about Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I just love that movie, as do most horror fanatics, and it's just a good movie. But it gives you that gritty summer vibe, like everyone's sweaty, everything's dirty. You go into, Leatherface's house with the slamming door and the meat hanging off the hooks. It's just got those, it's got those vibes. So if it's a real nasty hot summer day, of course, check that out. On that note, a more recent one, which I would also recommend, which has those hot, grimy, and slightly sexy vibes. Ty West's X, which came out 3 or 4 years ago, with Jenna Ortega, Mia Goth, Brittany Snow, and Scott Mescudi. Excellent summer horror movie, I would say. But a bunch of people going out to film a porno in the 70s in a barn. I mean, does it get more gritty and summer than that? This is, of course, rated 18 in Canada. It's pretty raunchy. But yeah, Dying to Show You a Good Time, written and directed by Ty West. X. Actually, you could argue that Pearl's got those summer vibes too. The other one in the series, maybe even the other one. What's the other one in that series? I forget now, but for sure, when I was thinking about like summer movies, I was like a more recent summer movie, a more recent summer horror movie. I was like, yeah, you got to mention X. I actually haven't watched this in a few years, so I might revisit it. But yeah, great movie, and set in the summertime. So there you go. Maxine, that was the other one. Let's see, another recent one that was set in the summer, which really gives me those summer vibes, and that was Us from Jordan Peele. Another thing I love about summer is going to see a movie at the end of a hot summer day in an air-conditioned movie theater with popcorn. And this was one I saw a couple of years ago in the theater, in the air conditioning. And this one, I actually love this movie. I know a lot of people prefer Get Out, but I thought Us was... Hot take, I might have actually liked Us better. I just found this movie to be really creepy. And even from the opening scene when they're at like a fairground in the summer, set in the 80s, the kids are behind the, throw the dart at the balloon, and the kid's wearing a Black Flag shirt, and it's like on a beach, and it's like the Ferris wheel, and it's at night, and it's just like, it just gives me those summer vibes. And yeah, this is like, there's another family staying at the main family in the film, which is Lupito Nyong'o, Winston Duke. They go to like a summer home, a summer like cottage thing, and so you're getting away from the city, and you're not in the country, but you're away, and you're in this little cottage. And then when if you've seen this movie, like when the other people start showing up at the end of your driveway, you're like, you're in for trouble. But it's got those great summer vibes. Love this film. I'll definitely be watching that one soon. I can't remember if I did a review of that, but maybe I'll do one if I haven't. We're almost done, guys. Wrong Turn. I'm trying to remember, like, I'm not super familiar with anything after the first one. I've seen all of them, but for me, the first one gave me those summer vibes. It's like, again, I can't remember. I guess it's like, excuse me. I can't remember I guess it is in the summer, yeah. I can't remember if it's like end of the school year or something. Sometimes I get that mixed up with Joyride, which might be another honorable mention, Joyride. But yeah, this one, part one especially, which I really love that movie. I was surprised to learn in recent years that people don't like that one, which is weird. Part two is great with Henry Rollins in it, but yeah, part one I've always loved. It's there's some kids, they're in a car, or a van, and they're going along this dirt road, and they have an accident with another car, and trying to remember who was in that. Was that Paul? What's his face? Guess it doesn't say. It doesn't say. Jeremy Sisto, I like him. Eliza Dushku, Desmond Harrington, I guess. Maybe that's the guy's name. Stan Winston's mentioned in here, so it's produced by Stan Winston. So yeah, I thought it was just a great little like hillbilly slasher flick. I don't know if that's politically correct to say anymore. Country folk with knives who may have had intimate affairs with cousins, that kind of vibe. Whoa. If you like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I mean, I'm not saying it's on that level, of course, but, teenagers lost in the woods, and there's like some bad country folk that are coming to get them. Those kind of vibes. The next one up, another more recent one. This is an Ari Aster film, the director of the other modern Stone Cold classic, Hereditary, and that's Midsommar, or as some hipsters say, Midsommar. Yeah. I think I've only seen this movie twice. The first time I watched it, it scared the bejesus out of me. This is really scary. I guess this might be like a spring going into summer kind of movie. I think this is like celebrating May Day or something, but it's definitely got those kind of like out in a grassy field in summer kind of vibes. This stars Florence Pugh, Jack Rayner, William Jackson Harper. Yeah, this is definitely like another heavier kind of movie, but I would recommend it for those kind of summer vibes. No, I guess it is a summer movie. What am I talking about? It's called Midsummer. Um, IGN said the horror genre has found a new master in filmmaker Ari Aster. So, Ari Aster done some great flicks. This one, Hereditary. I think he did that Beau is Not Afraid movie. I've not seen that one yet. Is that him? I don't know. I didn't sleep last night, so I'm a little wonky. And then, of course, it would be remiss to not mention Sleepaway Camp, though. As you guys have, if you've been following my channel for the last 3 years, you know I'm not a big fan of 2 and 3, but I do really like the first one. This is of course, the infamous Red Cross box set. I picked this up a couple years ago. I'm actually possibly looking to get rid of this. I have the first one on Blu-ray, the Scream Factory Blu-ray. So, am I going to ever watch part 2 and 3? I mean, I know, guys, part 2 and 3 have their fans, but for me, these two just, they're god awful. There was one I watched where it was like, 1 minute it was daylight, the next minute it was like nighttime, and like 1 minute it was like summer, and the next minute it was like winter, and it was a mess. But I would say the first one is a excellent summer camp movie. Got those vibes. This one, it comes with the Sleepaway Camp Diary booklet, which has some photographs in the film, again with some notation. Yeah, I picked this up a little hastily, I guess, because I didn't know part 2 and 3. I'd only seen part 1, and based on part 1, I thought, oh, I gotta see all of them. I just gotta. And then I watched them and I was like, oh, God. Again, I know it's got its fans, and this is just one person's opinion. I'm not looking to start a fight, but yeah, I would say that if you like those summer camp vibes, if you like Friday the 13th Part 1, Sleepaway Camp, why not? Throw it in there. But yeah, those are my top favorite summer horror movies. I'm sure I've missed a few. I went through my collection, and I don't have every movie, obviously, so there may be some that I'm missing, but off the top of my head and just doing some Google searches on like best summer horror movies and things like that, of the ones I have, these are the ones that came up. Tucker and Dale versus Evil is in my other video, which will drop later today, so or tomorrow. I can't remember what not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but that will be coming. But I sort of put it in the other category of like, lighter fare or other types of movies that are good for summer. So those are my favorite summer movies to watch. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Are some of these movies your favorites? Of course, Jaws and Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like all those are probably pretty standard fare for most horror aficionados in the summer, but those are the ones that give me those vibes. Those you don't generally watch movies during the day in the summer unless it's like raining. So I did mention a few cool like summer rainy kind of movies. I do have a couple of other ones, I think, in my other videos, so stay tuned for that. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are these some of your favorites? Are there ones that you would recommend I check out that I missed? Or didn't mention this list that I should check out? Because generally I think most of these, like even going through like other people's lists, I was like, I had most of the ones that I would want to watch on those lists. But yeah, let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Consider giving me the thumbs up if you like this review. Let me know in the comments, would you like me to do more of these like top 10 or like best of kind of videos? I would consider doing them from time to time for sure. Yeah, so stay tuned later today or tomorrow. I'm gonna have a second part to this video, or just like another episode, which will be like my just like top summer movies / blockbusters, and it'll be maybe more of like a hangout video. I'll talk about my experiences at like the summer movies and things like that. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. That's it. Thank you for watching. That's it. Thank you for watching. That's it. I'm AI now. I got nothing else to say. You know, put on your sunscreen if you're going to go outside. You know, my friend Marcy years ago said, pick the way you want to die, sunscreen or UV rays. But when I go biking, I always put on a little bit of sunscreen. I watched an article a couple of weeks ago on TV, and they said that if you're going to use sunscreen, like you have to like slather it on like this. And I'm like, who has the funds for that? You know, I don't. But anyway, until next time, I'll catch you at the video store or the thrift store or just out and about somewhere. But until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!